5 to 5 to the 10.
You betcha. 5.5. Okay, so our next lesson, can you be quiet please so we can get this done. Our next lesson, now that you know how to add decimals to the nearest tenth, we're now going to move on to subtracting decimals. We're going to follow the same rules we did before in terms of using the flats and the rods, and then we're going to show you how it works with the decimals and the verticals called symbolic. So our next lesson, our first key lesson, our learning here, decimals can be subtracted using base 10 blocks, something we know. Decimals can be subtracted using place value, that's we also know. And of course, when you subtract decimals vertically, where you put one number above the other, the decimals must line up. All right, so we're going to use base 10 blocks to subtract decimals. A flat still represents one whole, and the rod represents 1/10 or 0.1. If you guys want to move over so you can see, you can do that too. So I'm going to try to stand right here. So if I'm in your way, Ethan, you can move over, Brooke, or Karen, you can do that. All right, so you can exchange 10 rods for one flat anytime you want. So when we do we may have to do some borrowing then, and some exchanging. So let's make some decimals up first. So how would I create 0.4, Sydney? 4 rods. I have to do a little bit of switch changing here. I need to get 4 rods. Oh, something this. I get this back up so I can use it. 4 rods. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that 0.4? Yes, it is, because every rod is a tenth. So this is 1/10 here, 1/10 there, 1/10 there, and 1/10 there. When you put them all together, we have 4/10, which is 0.4. Okay, let's try another one. 1.6, David, how do I do this one?
One of those big ones.
One flat, that's 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6. Okay, agreed? All right, going on to the next one. So now we're going to do some subtracting. In order to do subtracting, the first thing I have to do is have 0.5. I'm going to create 0.5, and then I have to remove from the 0.5, 0.3. So what do you think we have to do here? Brooke, how do I create 0.5? Go ahead.
First, you have to put 8 rods.
Okay. 5 rods or 8 rods? 5 rods.
8.
5.
8.
5.
We're subtracting.
Right.
5.
No? Okay, now I want you to look up here. First, it says that you are supposed to
Subtract.
first create the first number. So this is 0.5. Agreed? Now, it says that I'm subtracting. Now, subtracting means that you remove or take away from the first one. So I have 0.5. I have to remove the second amount. So I'm going to take away 0.3 from the 0.5. So you're right in how we created it, but I want to take away 0.3. So now, what's left, Brooke? 2? 0.2, okay? So what I'm doing here is I've got 5 take away 3 is 2, bring down the decimal, bring down the 0, so there's your symbolic. That's how we do it with numbers. Do you have a hard time seeing that? The blue? Want me to change it? All right.
The light, bro.
No problem. Fine style, yellow it is. Boom, we're done. I'll make it thicker. How's that? All right, what do we got here? Somehow I can't save it anymore. You love that, eh? Oh, fine style. Yeah. Oh, well, I'll just work with that. It's fine. Okay, so how about this? 0.2. Is that better?
Yeah.
It's thicker and easier to see. Pardon me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm perfect. Until I do the next one. Okay, so let's move on to the next example. So now we know how to do this. What about 0.7 minus 0.2? Ryan, what's our first step? That's correct. You put 7 of the rods up. 1, 6, 7. So I have 7 rods, and what do I do with that, Ryan? Take away 2. So what this is showing is this is 0.7, right? Of which I need to take away 2 of them. And what does that leave me with, Ryan?
How many fingers in
5, which is, what is a decimal? 0.5, because these are 5 tenths. So this leaves me with 0.5. Now you take a look over here when we're putting them vertically. The decimals line up, so the first thing we do is put down our decimal. What is 7 take away 2? That is 5. And 0 take away 0 is 0. So our answer is 0.5. You notice it's the exact same thing as we had a minute ago, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So moving on to the next one. 0.6 take away 0.4. Caitlin, what am I going to do first?
You gotta take 6, rods.
Okay, create 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I got my 6. What do I do now?
You take away 4.
I gotta take away 4. So here is 4 going away. And what do I have left? 0. What, Caitlin?
2.
0.2. So what is, when I do decimals here on the vertical side, put my decimal down. Now what's 6 take away 4? 2. And 0 take away 0?
0.
So there is the same answer there. So you can see how they parallel, how they go together. Leon, what's your question? You had your hand up.
The stick marker went away.
I know. All right, now a little more difficult this time. Leon, what do you think?
Mark down 1.2.
How do I create 1.2, Leon?
1 flat and 2 rods.
1 flat, and I have to have 2 rods here. Okay, so now, what do I do with this 1.2, Leon?
You take 1 of the rods away.
I take 1 of the rods away, because that's 0.1, right? So what does that give me as an answer, Leon?
1.1.
So here's your answer, 1.1. Does everybody agree with Leon?
Yes.
All right, now over here when I'm doing this vertically, I line up my decimals, I put my decimal down, and now I take 2 minus 1 is 1, and what's 1 subtract 0 give you? 1. So is my answer here the same as my answer here?
Yeah.
So using the rods is one way, using symbolic or the vertical numbers is the other way. Okay, now we have to do something a little bit more tricky, because now we have to do some swapping.
Oh.
Okay, Kate. Let's see. What's the first thing we have to do here?
Grab 5 rods.
5 rods?
No,
Okay.
you take one of those things.
I gotta create this first.
Oh, what?
Start with the first number and you take away from that. So how do I create 2.4, Kate?
Oh, I get it. Oh,
Start with the same method.
okay.
How do I create 2.4? Start with that. How do I create it with the rods and flats? How many flats? 2 flats. Here we go. Oh, that didn't work. 1 flat, 2 flats. How do I make 0.4, Kate? 4 rods, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Are you paying attention? Because this one's important. This one's different than the rest. Now, I have to take away from those rods and flats, I have to remove 0.5. How many rods is 0.5?
5.
5. So I have to take from what I have here, I have to take 5 rods away. But we have a problem. Without telling me the answer, what is the problem I have right now? Caitlin?
You have to split up one of those things away.
Okay, that's the solution. What's the problem?
You don't have 5 rods.
I don't have 5 rods. I only have 4. So my first job is to fix the problem so that I can take away the 5. So how do I do that, Abby?
You use a flat for 10 rods.
All right, I'm going to take this one over here, and that is 10 rods, isn't it? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, this is boring, 7, 8, 9, and 1 more, 10. Okay, so I have 10 rods. We know that this here is equal to this here, aren't they?
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do, this one was normally over here, so I'm going to take this one out, and in its place, I'm going to put the 10 rods. Have I changed the decimal that's there?
No.
what decimal am I still representing by all of this here? What is,
2.4.
that is still 2.4. I've just done some borrowing, haven't I?
All
right.
Something would work. You get the really thick marker and color in the whole marker with that color and then erase it.
Okay, we'll worry about that later, okay? You need to start paying attention. Okay, so now, can I take away? Brooke, what do I do now then?
Take away 5.
Now I can take away 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've taken away our 5. So now, what's the answer, Brooke? 1.9. So if you're having trouble, just count them up here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rods. That's a 9.9, and we have the 1. So my answer is 1.9. Now let's go over and look at the vertical. You all know how to subtract, don't you? Okay, so let's start with the 4. So I want you to ignore the decimal, the 2, and the 0 for a second. So I want you to ignore this part on the left-hand side. All right? I'm just going to grab a shade. Nope, that wouldn't work, did it? Where's my shade? I lost my shade. Nope, well, that was really weird.
What is that?
I was trying to find my shade, but I'm not going to worry about it. I want you to ignore the 2 and the 4. So what is 4 take away 5? Can't do it. Good. So now, to do that, I'm going to go over to the 1s. I'm going to take a 1 away, just like I did over here. And I'm going to put in its place 10 of those rods. And that's where I got the other 10 rods, over here and down there. So now I've got 14, of which now I can take away 5. Now, can anybody tell me how many rods I had when I was doing all this? 14, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So it works, doesn't it? I now have 14 rods, or 14 tenths. Now, 14 take away 5, we know is 9. Got to make sure my decimal comes straight down. And now this is not a 2. What is this now?
1.
That's now a 1. So 1 take away 0 is?
4.
And look at this. They're the same. Which one do you find easier to do? The symbolic with the numbers or the drawing? Well, good. Because we have to do some more of these. All right, 1.6 take away 1.4. This one's a little bit easier. How about you, Haley? How do I do this one?
You need one of those flat things.
I need one of those flat things.
You need 6 of those smaller.
6 rods, okay, so it's 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6. Okay, so now what's next, David?
You take away that flat thing.
Okay, so I'm going to take away 1, so that'll get rid of this one here, right? If I take away the 1, that takes care of that part. I still have to take away the other parts. What else do I take away?
4.
4 rods, because this is 4 rods. Oops. This is 4 rods right there, isn't it? So I have to take these 4 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and they have to go away. Because here, if you think about it, this here is 1.4, isn't it? So what does that leave me with as an answer?
0.2.
0.2.
That was really,
Okay.
dumb.
Really?
Yeah.
So 6 take away 4 is 2. And put your decimal down. And 1 take away 1 is 0. You see how they parallel, they match up with the rods and the flats?
Nope.
Liar.
You're a liar, pants on fire.
Okay, my pants are on fire.
Look.
What do I gotta do? 2 flats up, okay? I gotta make 2.6. So there's 1 flat, there's 2, so I have 2.0, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, 2.5, and 2.6. Okay. Now I have to take away what?
1.7.
Okay, so what am I gonna do?
Let's take away 1 flat.
Okay, take away flat, that's gone.
Hold on. And then you can't go 7 because that's take away the other one.
Oh, so we have to borrow or do some swapping, right? I only have 6 here, right? You count the 6? And I have a problem because it says here I'm supposed to take away 7 tenths. So I need to take away 7 rods. I can't do that because I don't have enough. So what I'm going to do is exactly what Brooke said. I'm going to go over here to my magic department over here, and I'm going to take this one, I'm going to swap it up for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You don't know, but there's 10 there. So now that's gone. And I'm going to grab these and move them over there. So now, I have to take away how many? 7. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, what do I have? What do I have? Space these out. What do I have left? Brooke? 0.9. So, if you count these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that's 9 tenths. And we write 9 tenths as 0.9. Now let's go over here and do it symbolically. 6 take away 7. Can't do it. I only have 6. You cannot take away 7 from that, can you? So, I go over to here, and I take one of the flats, I bring it over to my magic department, and exchange it for 10. So 10 and 6 is 16 now, right? So 16 take away 7 is 9. Bring your decimal down. The 2 now becomes a 1 because one of the flats is gone. 1 take away 1 gives me 0. And you should notice that the answer there matches the answer there. Okay. One last one. Oh, we lost time. 1.8 minus 1.3. So, who has not done a question yet? Tiffany.
It says plus.
It says what?
It says plus. What?
Oh, it says plus. Oh, that's a mistake, isn't it? Okay, you know what? You know what the good... I don't fix it, just watch. I take and erase that. I grab this, tap, tap, pull this, go subtract, right? Give it a space so it'll line up. Tap here, go up here, tap, tap, take that, put a subtract, put a plus, and then go like this. And we're done.
Whoa!
Okay, so now with 1.8, take away 1.3. Tiffany. All right, Tiffany. What am I going to do first? Oh, that's doing it. I want to do it with the rods, flats first.
Oh yeah, you gotta get
8 rods. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do I have 8 there? Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I have 8. All right, there we go. Okay. There's 8. What else do I need, Tiffany? Okay, you flat. 1.8. Now, Tiffany, what do I have to take from the 1.8? 3. 3 what? 3 rods? All right. 1, 2, and 3. What else? Let's see. 1 flat. So there is 1.3. That's what this is right here. That's 1.3. We've taken it away. So what now do we have as an answer? 0 point? Good job. 0.5. Now, to do this symbolically, 8 take away 3 is 5. Put the decimal down. 1 take away 1 is 0. Does my answer symbolically match the answer I have with my flats and rods? So we did it correctly. All right, here comes the next part. Now it's time to do it without the box. Yeah, that was a good part. Here we go. So now, 3.2, take away 1.3. Okay, Sydney, what do I do?
Can't take 3 away 2.
Yes.
So you
I have to borrow. So that becomes what? 2. This becomes 12.
And then 12 to 3 is 9.
9. Good. Put the decimal down.
And then 2 take away 1. No, 1 take away 2 is
All the way around. 2 take away 1 is 1.
good. Otherwise it wouldn't be good.
All right. Ta-ta, ta-ta. You did a good job. Okay. Next one is Kaylin's. 3.5, 6, take away 3.5.
You take away 5 from 6, which equals 1. You take away 3 from 3, which equals 0. And you add a point in the middle.
In the middle. Why in the middle?
Because that's all the others.
They line up, don't they?
Because they want to be in a family.
They always line up.
You know,
Right? This is 6 tenths, this is 5 tenths, this is 1 tenth. They're all the tenths, right? This is 3 ones, and no ones.
no one
Question, Brooke.
No one. You forgot it.
Question, Caitlin.
I want to do the next one.
Question, Megan.
I want to see the one after you.
Well, let's do, who haven't I asked a question to lately? I gotta check here. Who have I done? Ethan. He's going, darn. You can't sneak by, Ethan. Okay, Ethan. Nine minus 8 equals 1. Good. Put the decimal in because it comes straight down. 10?
2.
2. Good job. 4, take away 2. Did he do it right?
Yeah.
Was this a hard one?
Yes.
Oh. No, what are we on this one?
Yeah, it was.
Okay. Now we're getting to the more difficult ones. Okay. Caitlin, you said you wanted to do this one.
Okay. You have to cross out the 7 and make it into 6.
Why?
Because you can't take away the 5.
Good job. You can't take away 7 from 5. So you got to go over here to the ones, take away, and put in a 15 there. So what's 15? Take away 7.
8.
Good job. What's next?
And then 6 minus 4 is 2. And then put a point there.
Point there. And then 6.
2 minus 4 is 2.
There you go. She do it right?
Yeah. No.
Yes, she did.
Oh, she did.
Next one. On Saturday,
Why is it always David?
because I just changed the problems from last time. On Saturday, David walked 1.7 kilometers. Sydney walked 2.5 kilometers. How much farther did Sydney walk? Now, you notice I didn't set this up for you, did I? So, what number goes on top? What number goes on bottom, Meg?
2.5 minus 1.7. How?
Okay. What do I do here, Meg?
I'm thinking.
That's all. That's what I think.
Oh, you can't take away 7 for 5, so you gotta borrow a 10.
That's right. You go over here, you take 1. That means 1 there. Put this.
15.
And 15. Take away 7 is?
No, that's like my main question.
I didn't hear yet. 8. Okay, good. 8. And that means over on the left-hand side, 1 take away 1 is?
0.
0. So what's the answer to the question?
0.8.
How much farther? Sydney walked
8 meters.
0.8 kilometers farther. Good job. All right. So Sydney walked.
That's good, David.
Sydney walked
He always wants to
0.8 kilometers farther. Okay. Now, do I need to have the kilometers in there? Oh, yes, I do. That's my unit. It tells me how far. Because if I don't put kilometers in there, it's going to be, someone may think 0.8 meters, 0.8 centimeters, 0.8 millimeters, inches, feet, yards, miles, rods. Okay. Okay. Brooke is 1.4 meters tall. Remember we made this problem last time. Abby is 1.6 meters tall. I know. I mean, problem. So, who is taller and by how much? So the answer to the first question, who is taller? Ethan. Abby is taller. By how much, Cole? How do I set it up and do it?
5, 2.
What's on top? What number? What do I put on top? I get 2 numbers here to choose from.
No.
Okay, we're going to subtract these, right? So the greater number, 1.6, is on the top. The 1.4 is on the bottom. So now, Cole, how do I subtract these? 6 away from 2? 6, take 4 from 6 and you get what? 2. Put the decimal in.
0.
0. So what's the answer to the question?
0.2 meters.
So that's not the question, that's not the answer. What is the answer, Abby?
Abby's taller by 0.2.
Exactly. Here's your answer. Abby is 0.2 meters taller. Now, the other question, which was already asked and answered, was that Abby is taller. We know that. Because she's 1.6 meters tall, and Brooke was only 1.4. I've never measured you, so I don't know if that's exactly how tall you are, but that'd be about almost well right, isn't it? All right, here we go with the next question. At 0600 in the morning, it was 3.7 degrees. If the temperature rose up to 5.8 degrees, how much did it rise by? Tiffany, how do I do this?
Oh, I know. I do not know.
Tiffany,
Ooh, Sean. My daddy.
we know that. All right,
I do. Daddy.
so tell me what to do, Tiffany. Just tell me what to do. I'll do it. What goes on top? What number? 3.7. Where do I put the 5.8? Underneath it
No.
or on the top of it? Where does the 5.8 go? Up here or down here? Up here, exactly. 5.8. Okay, so Tiffany, 8 take away from 7 is what? Put the decimal in. 5 take away 3 is?
2.
2. So, the question says, how much did the temperature rise? The temperature rose,
2.1.
would you love my fancy writing? The temperature rose 2.1 degrees Celsius.
You have the temperature knows.
Okay.
You're like, non-next.
Ethan, you had a question?
It says the temperature knows.
That's a, well, that's an R. It's just a bad R.
Oh, okay.
Don't pick on my writing. All right, the challenge question.
We did this one.
No, you didn't.
Try it.
This is the challenge question. So,
Oh.
total weight of Ryan's backpack is 7.6 kilograms. His books weigh 4.3. His lunch weighs 1.1. The rest of the weight is made up by his art project. How heavy is his art project? Without telling me the numbers, who can tell me how we're going to go about solving this? What do I have to do? Abby? Okay, so I have to add his books. So I have to add his books. So we have books plus the lunch. Okay? And then what do I do with that?
And then you subtract it from everyone.
Okay, so I take the total weight and I'm going to subtract it from his books and his lunch, right? So that means my first step is to add his books and lunch together. So, Cole, how do I go about adding his books and his lunch? I can't hear him, please.
His books are 7.6.
Actually, the total weight of his backpack is 7.6. His books are 4.3.
And 4.3 and 1.1. Then
Okay, so what do I get?
5.4.
5.4. Good job. Now, Cole, you're not off the hook yet, buddy. What's the next thing I have to do?
Take away them.
Take away that from what?
7.6.
Exactly. So I get the total, 7.6. I'm going to take away the 5.4 kilograms, which is his lunch and his books. And when I do this, what do I get, Cole?
Paul. 2.2.
2.2. So 6 take away 4 is 2. Bring the decimal down. 7 take away 5 is 2. So that means what? Nobody helping me. What is the 2.2?
How much?
How much what?
Is lunch and books weigh?
No, this is how much his lunch and books weighs right there.
Oh.
Do you want to ask a friend?
Yes.
All right, Cole, ask a friend.
3 on 7.
What about his art project?
It's how much it weighs.
There we go. It says here, his art project. Getting Rasmus here. His art project weighs, GHTS, 2.2 what?
Kilograms.
Kilograms. You have to have the unit in there.
Kilograms.
All right. Good. Yes.
If you look at the last one, it's 4.6 grams.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it? It is, isn't it? All right, moving on to. Okay, it is 3:20. There's not enough time to start this, but we can start it next day.
Oh, it's 3.1.
That's even closer. So put your stuff away, and we will stop this and get it going on